Mayor, the comments and the discussion that we're having right now is something that the public expects of us, of the rest of us. I mean, people expect us to acknowledge this process, that it's going on, and to some degree, speak our minds about it. That's not meant to say that I mean, I think you misinterpreted Commissioner Gillum's comments, at least from what I heard. That didn't sound like the same thing that what you heard. The problem is that none of this happened. I wasn't here when any of this happened, and my credibility is just as questioned at this point as anybody's, all of us. That's fine. That's our jobs. I mean, that's just part of the job, and I don't have any problem addressing that myself. The point where I reached the tipping point, and I pretty much left this all to you to deal with and let you go through the process, at which I would like to insert one thing. This is, just so everybody's clear, this is the charge. The trial has not occurred. I mean, everybody's acting like there's been some conviction somewhere. Well, that's not the case. The evidence hasn't been heard by the public. The process is just starting, and I want to make that clear to people. I was in Seattle, as you know, accepting the award, and during the time of the news conference, I got a media call from one of the members of our local media and I said, ask me about the Parks and Rec budget, which is the last thing I expected to be asked about. And I didn't expect what she said next. I said, why aren't you at the press event? And she said, well, don't you think that this has been played, that there's just a huge cloud over these awards because of this ethics decision in the past week? And I was absolutely taken aback. That's when I realized that this had all spread over not only to us, not only to the organization, but to the staff. So everybody's work is questioned. And that's when I made a determination to come back here and try to figure out how to get a better handle on that impact that this was having. I would like to ask you to consider balancing some of your responsibilities, and I think that the manager's spoken to you about some of the ways that I think that we could, basically downplay your public exposure to a certain degree. It's a good thing that we are at the break. Everybody will have a break from all of this. And the only reason the travel comes up as a discussion is that that's another place where I hear criticism. That's why everybody's having a comment or an opinion at all about your travel. I doubt at all that you're out there representing our city well, but I woke up one Monday morning and I needed to know where you were. I think we were having a meeting and you weren't there, and I said, where's the mayor? And they told me, and I realized I know where Hillary Clinton is right now, and I don't know where Mayor Marks is. And I would like to ask you to please change that. I'd like for you to share with us when you travel on city business. I'd like for you to share with us and the community where you're going and what you expect to accomplish. And when you come back, I'd like to hear about it. I mean, it would be nice to know. We should all do that. And I think to a certain degree, I don't do very much travel. I want everybody to turn to my budget page and see that my office has spent the least of any of the commissioners, including Commissioner Mushin, this past year, at least so far, year to date. And so that is, I don't travel on behalf of the city as much as you do, but I do believe that it's important to come back and share with the public exactly what you were doing, where you were, and what you accomplished while you were there at the meetings. At these meetings, not through a press event or a press release from your office. So I'd like to ask that of you. Any other ways that you can think of that you can just keep it, I don't know exactly how to put it, other than just to say a little bit less public exposure, because every time you go out in public at this point, the public is just agitated, and that's only making it worse.
Well, I hear everything that all of you are saying, and I'm taking it to heart. I want to let you know that. But I don't think you mean less public exposure, you mean less travel that exposes. I really am going to do more within this city in terms of exposure, in terms of doing things within the city. I think that's what you mean more than anything else, and I hear that.
If that means getting out to community events, then that's probably a good,
Well,
we can discuss this.
yeah, I attend a lot of community events, and I try and attend as many as I possibly can, and I will continue to do that. I hear what you all are saying, and we will do it. That's all I want to say at this point in time. I will do it. I will attempt to do that just as you said, but I will attempt to do it.
Mayor, just send your wife instead. Just send your wife to all the events instead.
She goes to more events than I do.
It's a wonderful-
She goes as equally as many events as I go to, and which kind of, she goes as many events as I go to. She's a wonderful lady. She loves this city. She's a great first lady in this city, and I love her to death, and I'm not going to let anybody like Mr. Jackson or anybody else say anything negative about her. And if he does, that's I'm not going to allow that to my family. I don't want to hear from you.
Mr. Mayor.
Huh? We're adjourned.